Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Selamat pagi semua. Selamat datang ke hari kedua program World Architecture Day 2021 hosted by Pertubuhan Arkitek Malaysia Southern Chapter. Saya Naim, MC anda pagi ini. Saya berharap semua dalam keadaan sihat dan ready untuk kita punya sesi. Sesi hari ini akan bermula sebentar lagi dan akan insyaAllah akan tamat hari. So saya rangkumkan sedikit kita punya program hari ini, pagi ini. Kita akan ada dua sesi technical talk, each one by our partners, which is Canon, dan seterusnya Kekstra. Dan seterusnya kita akan ada dua sesi webinar. Yang pertama adalah RTS Bukit Jaga Station, Integration of Two at Creativity Behind the Scenes, yang mana akan dibentangkan oleh wakil daripada syarikat SM Architects dan Berhad. Mereka baru-baru ini telah memenangi Best Design Competition oleh MRT. Okay. Seterusnya webinar yang kedua pada pagi ini adalah UTM Students Best Design Nourishing Future Talents. Akan ada dua speaker wakil daripada pelajar UTM. Mereka berdua telah memenangi Best Design kategori masing-masing, iaitu peringkat ijazah dan juga masters peringkat UTM. Okay. So, jadi selamat datang dan semoga sesi pagi ini akan memberi anda ilmu yang berguna dan juga jadi inspirasi untuk kita lebih maju ke hadapan. Sebelum tu, saya ingin mengucapkan selamat datang kepada Yang Berusaha Arkitek Ahmad Farid bin Abdul Ghaffar, pengerusi Pertubuhan Arkitek Malaysia Southern Chapter, dan juga kepada semua komiti members PAMSo dan juga ahli-ahli Pertubuhan Arkitek Malaysia, dan seterusnya kepada rakan-rakan daripada agensi kerajaan, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, dan juga rakan-rakan penaja iaitu Canon Marketing Malaysia Sdn Bhd dan juga KHP Steel Produk Malaysia Sdn Bhd. Okay. Serta saya ucapkan juga selamat datang dan selamat pagi kepada barisan speaker dan moderator dan para hadirin yang saya hormati sekalian. Jadi tanpa melengahkan masa, kita terus kepada program pertama pagi ini, iaitu technical talk oleh Canon. Oh sorry, minta maaf. Sebelum tu, saya ingin memaklumkan tentang sign-in code. So, jadi di skrin anda tertera adalah sign-in code untuk pagi ini, yang mana anda perlu key in sign-in code ni dalam Google Form yang kami sediakan. Google Form ni boleh diakses melalui link yang akan kita kongsi di chat box, ataupun anda boleh scan QR code yang tertera di skrin anda. So, jadi do take your time to jot down this sign-in code. Cuma untuk sign-in code kita akan bagi pada akhir sesi. Jangan khawatir, untuk sign-in code ni from time to time kita akan kongsi di chat box. Kita ada kita punya standard template untuk anda rujuk bagi memudahkan urusan anda untuk key in the sign-in code. Cuma jangan submit dulu. Tunggu hingga akhir program, di mana kami akan pamerkan pula sign-in code untuk anda isi sekali lagi dalam Google Form tersebut, dan boleh boleh submit. Seterusnya boleh submit antara pukul 12.50 hingga 1 subuh nanti. Okay, InsyaAllah. So, jadi do take your time untuk jot down this sign-in code and access to the link that we're going to provide in the chat box. Okay. So, jika ada apa-apa masalah tentang sign-in code ni, jangan khawatir. Macam saya maklumkan tadi, kita akan dari semasa ke semasa akan pamerkan di ruangan chat box. You can have the access at the chat box. No worries. Okay. So, are we good to go? Kalau okay, please raise your hand. You can see the raise hand icon down the screen. Okay. Okay, Alhamdulillah. So jadi tanpa melengahkan masa lagi, kita terus ke program pertama kita pagi ni, Canon Technical Talk, yang akan dibentangkan oleh Mr. Wilson Yong dan juga Mr. Chong Yan Kiat daripada Canon Marketing Malaysia Sembahat dan juga ART Group. Okay. Teruskan kepada moderator untuk sesi pagi ini adalah daripada komite yang PAMSo sendiri, iaitu Arkitek Hanis Nazura. Oh, minta maaf, itu untuk sesi webinar. So, Canon Talk, kita tak ada moderator. Mohon maaf dari saya. Jadi, kita terus kepada speaker daripada Canon Talk, iaitu Mr. Wilson Yong dan juga Mr. Chong Yan Kiat. Dipersilakan.
Thank you. I would like to share my screen now. A minute. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chong, and I'm the Group Director of ArTV Group. Thanks for your time today, and do allow me to start with my company introductions. So, ATP Sales and Services Senyum Berhad is a subsidiary company of ArTV Group. I think some of you should know we are Canon authorized partners since 2008. We are also recognized as one of the Canon top partners in Southern region. We have many years experience, even started since ammonium blueprint era. Although some of you do not require blueprint services anymore, but if you need, we even have digital blueprint service for you. From the slide, you can see we are formed by a very structured team, and we are come from sales, technical, marketing, finance, admin, warehouse, and delivery team. That's why you can always reach us on time because we are not a one-man company. We have a very strong technical teams, and some of them even have more than 20 years experience. We also provide a broad area of service territory in order to make sure all of our customers are being served well. How we serve our customer? We have a standard of service level and offer sales service. After sales service, well, we are taking care more than 1,000 units of machines. Some customer might ask or curious, ATP is good in Southern region, but how about the rest of the country? Don't worry, we have our Canon principle to serve you as well. Canon service coverage is reaching all areas of Malaysia. ArTV Group also emphasizes on social responsibility as well. These are the appreciation and testimonial from public and customer over the years, and it is a proof of our efforts. As a result of our hard work, we have accumulated many customers from many sectors. They are come from governments, GLC, consultants like you, contractors. Yes?
I don't see the screen moving.
Since just now?
The screen is still on the first page.
Oh, let me reshare it. Oh, 你的也是哈，现在。So do you see it now?
It is not in presentation mode.
Yeah, you can share in full screen. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Okay. So this is my team, and as I mentioned just now, we are come from a various team, and also we serve the whole Johor state, and our dedicated technical person, they are serve all the areas of Johor, and also not forgetting the rest of the customer in the Malaysia. We have our principal Canon to serve you from all areas. And these are the certificate from the public and also the government. And now, these are, you see, our customer, they are coming from governments, GLC, consultants, contractors, banks, factories. And all sectors are not left of our involvement. Okay, apart from that, we also have some milestones such as archiving project and government branches project. One of the example is we managed to finish installation for all agency office and water treatment plants for SAJ. SAJ is Syarikat Air Johor. Okay, we managed to settle down 72 units within 2 weeks' time. Apart from that, come to a digital era, we also assist our customer to complete digitization of their hard copy drawings into the databases. So this is one of our project in Lotte Titan Chemical Malaysia, where we managed to archive more than 2 million of documents. Now, I would like to pass this session to Mr. Wilson Yong. Wilson is the product consultant from Canon Malaysia, who have more than 12 years experience in this industry. Wilson, your turn.
Okay, so my turn. Let me share my screen. Okay, everybody can see my screen, right?
Yes, can see. Full
Okay.
screen.
All right. So hi, a very good morning to everyone here. So welcome, and I would like to thanks for your time to actually join the Canon Technical Talk today. So my name is actually Wilson, and from the Canon Head Office, Malaysia, and I'm the product consultant for Canon large format printers. So today I will be actually sharing to you all about the Canon large format printer. So without further delay, I will actually start my sharing now. Okay, the first product that I would like to introduce today will be the Canon TM series large format printer. Here, I actually have a video, a product introduction video. In this video, right, you will actually get to know more about this Canon TM series. So let's start the video.
The Image Prograph TM series. Incorporates the core technologies used in the high-end models. Specializing in basic performance, the 36-inch TM5300 and the 24-inch TM5200. With enhanced productivity, the 36-inch TM5305 and the 24-inch 5205. The all-pigment ink product line for the mid-range to entry-level market. Office-friendly. The TM series is designed to provide a convenient printing environment in smaller offices. Compact design and ease of use. Sophisticated design in a compact body. Fully front accessible operation enables flushed installation against a wall. A color touchscreen display for easy and intuitive operation. A paper load icon located on the top level screen allows immediate access. Easy roll paper loading in a natural standing posture. Quieter operation is achieved by significant reduction in main printer operation noise. Exhaust fan downsized by eliminating airflow loss, which reduces noise. Roll feeding system which suppresses noise caused by paper vibration. Platen fan to keep paper flat, which enhances high precision printing. Operation noise is generated during air suction. To reduce the noise, a silencer is attached to the exhaust section. Platen fan noise is reflected inside the silencer, and the reflected sound interferes with incoming fan noise. That reduces the fan noise. Cutter with clean and sharp performance suppresses cutting noise. These significantly reduce operational noise relative to current models by 60%. Less distracting noise enables comfortable desk work and instant printing next to desks. Direct print and share. Multiple files of different file formats can be printed just by drag and drop operation. New features such as thumbnail preview and a maximized window enhance efficient printing workflow. High-speed printing. The TM series employs a 1.07-inch 6-channel printhead with 15,360 nozzles. It delivers high-quality printing of CAD drawings and posters at fast speed. Up to 10% faster than current models in continuous printing, thanks to printing sequence optimization. All-pigment Lucia TD ink in 5 colors. Sharp reproduction even on uncoated paper. High surface tension matte black ink creates less feathering. Drawings can be precisely reproduced even on uncoated paper. Drawings can be neatly stacked in the order of printing, which enables immediate checking of drawings without resorting. Water resistance. The all-pigment Lucia TD ink offers high water resistance, enabling easy handling. Ample poster solutions. Poster Artist Light, which easily helps to create high-quality, vivid posters. With the newly added 10-language glossary, multilingual posters can be easily produced just by selecting phrases in desired languages. It supports the creation of a diverse set of posters for different purposes. Free Layout Plus, which enables creation of large format posters from various applications, easily creates large-size prints of documents with familiar software like Microsoft Office. Extra large posters, larger than the printer width, can easily be made by combining multiple printer width prints. Vivid posters on plain paper. Pigment stays close to the media's surface, allowing vivid colors even on plain paper. Vividly colored posters can be produced even on plain paper. Water-resistant poster solution. A series of water-resistant poster media is available. Outdoor posters can be created in-house without outsourcing. Enhanced reliability and convenience. Security. Security features help prevent leaks of confidential data. Confidential printing data can be strictly controlled. Smartphone push notification. For job completion or errors can be sent to smartphones. This allows users to check print status and deal with errors even while away from the printer. MFP solutions offer copying and archiving of drawings. For the entry-level market, simple operation without a PC, just like a copying machine, enables easy copying of drawings. Incorporates new technologies focused on the mid-entry market, including quieter operation and intuitive interface. MFP solutions are also available, meeting a variety of scan and copy needs. Offers a broad range of applications from CAD, GIS to poster. The Image Prograph TM series.
Okay. All right. So all of you have actually seen the video, and I believe you already roughly get to know the features about the Canon TM series large format printer. So basically, the TM series is our entry-level platform plotters or printers, actually target for general average architect, engineering, and construction officers. Okay, so here I will just summarize to you all the main features for this Canon TM series. First, Canon TM series is actually come with 2 printer sizes, we have a 24 inches A1 size and also 36 inches AO size model. So actually, depending on your requirement, there is an option to actually choose from a single function, meaning printer model only, or multi-function printer that actually will come with scanner that you can actually use the scanner to perform copy, scan, and also printing jobs. Okay. The next Canon TM series is actually use this Canon Lucia TD5 color full pigment ink system. This allowed the printer to achieve high quality printing on technical drawings and also poster printing as well. And most importantly, is actually thanks to the full pigment ink, the printout is actually water resistant. Okay. So for the printing speed, the Canon TM series is actually able to achieve 24 seconds per A1 drawing and up to 144 pages A1 drawing for an hour continuous printing. Okay, and it actually supports this is a single row media and support large capacity row. Okay, so you can actually load the high capacity row media and let it print your project continuously. Okay. The next, I will actually talk about the ink tank size. Canon TM series actually support two ink tank size, which is the 130 ml and also 300 ml ink tank size. So if you have actually high printing project, so you may actually take the option 300 ml ink tank option to save your time, to decrease the frequency of ink tank replacement, and also save your cost, because the cost for the larger ink tank actually will be actually cheaper compared to the 130 ml. Okay, the last one is actually the TM series, right? It actually come with this stacking basket, so you can stack your drawings neatly and with actually face down orientation up to 20 pages of drawings. Okay, so the next product that I would like to show to you all will be this Canon we call TZ series. This is a newly launched model. Okay, so this Canon TZ series, right, is actually target for users that actually require higher productivity printers. Okay, so let me play the TZ series introduction video.
Image Prograph. Featuring the fastest printing speed of any image prograph to date. The 36-inch Image Prograph TZ5300. Smart Roll Set. Easy operation. Simply place the roll on the open media cover, then push the roll forward along the guide rails. The printer automatically performs media feeding, detection of media type, including width, and the remaining amount. It then automatically adjusts to the printing ready state. High-speed printing. Quick return from sleep mode to the printing ready state. Up to 21 seconds for the first print. Obtaining prints quickly when desired. Up to 4 ppm, enabling delivery of a large number of CAD drawings at speed. 5-color Lucia TD pigment ink for sharp reproduction of text and lines. High-quality printing at fast speed. Hot swap roll replacement system. The roll indicator signals remaining media levels. Rolls can be replaced during printing in addition to ink tanks. Reducing downtime during printing and enabling efficient continuous printing. Top delivery tray. Saving space and holds up to 100 printouts. Easily remove them from the front of the printer with a natural posture. Low power consumption. Inkjet printing maintains a low power consumption, reducing the effects on the environment. Security. Enhanced security features and secure printing can protect confidential data. Software for printing CAD drawings. Direct Print Plus, newly developed job submission software. Smooth input of multiple files. Quick preview. Easily communicate with the printer to enable automatic selection of a paper source. Minimum 1 click to print. Easily check the remaining amount of paper, ink. Plus print status and errors can be checked. Driver Select and Publisher Select are supported. Using the familiar printing workflow. MFP solution. Newly developed compact and lightweight scanner. The integrated design enhances usability and saves space. Scanning, copying, and printer management can be performed on the system controller. Achieving high productivity and efficiency in a continuous large volume printing of drawings. Image ProGraph TZ5300.
Okay. Right. Okay. So, all right. So, here I will actually be summarize the Canon TZ series large format printer to you all. First, for the TZ series, right, it's actually come with one size only, which is the 36 inches AO size printer. So, and this is and you can actually make it a single function or multi-function with scanner add-on. And same to the previous TM series, right? The TZ series also use a Canon 5-color Lucia TD full pigment ink to achieve a high quality printing on technical drawing and poster photo as well. And also, it is also water resistant printout. Again, the Canon TZ series, right, is actually target for user that actually require higher productivity printers. So the TZ series is actually come with this faster printing speed, which can go up to 4 A1 drawing per minute. And continuously printing, it can go up to 236 A1 pages per hour. Okay. And also the TZ series, right, is standard come in dual row. So it is a 2-row printer, 2-row machines. And the paper loading feature is very simple. We call it an automatic row feeding system. User just only required to place a row media into the printer, and then the printer will actually load and detect the media all by itself. Okay. So and as a production printers, right, the ink tank for the TZ series is actually larger. So it supports 330 ml ink tank or 700 ml ink tank. With the 700 ml ink tank, user is actually able to reduce the cost per milliliter even more. So I will be actually showing you the cost calculation after this slide. Okay. So lastly, the TZ series, right, the Canon TZ series, right, is actually come with this high capacity top delivery tray. So they can able to stack up to 100 of pieces of drawings. Okay. And the printer can actually stack your drawing nicely and neatly with this top delivery tray. So basically, this will be the product features for TM and TZ series that I would like to introduce to you all today. Okay, so next, then I will actually showing you one of the software that actually bundled together with Canon large format printer we call Accounting Manager. So this is a cost calculation software that is actually bundled with all our Canon large format printer free of charge. User can actually use this software to actually calculate their costing. So with this software, right, the software will actually look like this. This is we call Accounting Manager, the overview of this accounting software. And then what user required to do is just insert the ink and also the paper costing. So, and the Accounting Manager software will actually calculate the costing based on your costing that you insert. Okay, so you can also see the job cost and consumption, job cost and also the ink consumption, paper consumption in a very detailed format. Plus, you can also export the costing to Excel format for further reference. Okay, so the next one here, I will actually showing you some of the sample drawing costing for the TM and also TZ series. So here I will use this sample print in an A1 size to show you all the costing. First, let's look at the TM series. The total ink cost for this drawing printed on TM series is actually cost 41 cents only. So it is only 41 cents. And the total ink consumption for this drawing is take around 0.24 milliliters. So it's actually used it's actually quite safe your ink because it's actually used not much. It's only 0.24 ml. Okay. If we calculate the if we actually calculate based on 300 ml ink tank, the TM series can actually print this sample drawing roughly more than 1,000 pages per cartridge. Okay, and then the paper cost is actually 24 cents. So adding up the total cost for this drawing printed on print on this TM series, right, is takes only 65 cents. This is a total cost including the ink and also paper. Okay, so it's only takes about 65 cents. So printing cost is actually quite cheap. So this drawing inclusive of paper and also ink is only 65 cents. So it's actually pretty cheap, right? Okay. So the next one, we look into the high productivity printer, the TZ series. The TZ series, the total ink cost can go even lower. For these drawings, the TZ series, right, is only cost 24 cents. Because the TZ series is able to use the large 700 ml ink tank, which actually has the lowest cost per milliliter. So that's why you can actually achieve even lower ink cost. Okay, and the paper cost is the same as the TM series because 24 cents, because both printer use the same high capacity roll paper. And the total cost inclusive of ink and paper for TZ series is only 48 cents. So, and it's actually 35% reduction compared to the TM series. So if you would like to reduce your cost, your costing, right? So the TZ series is a good choice, and you can save a lot in the long run if you have a high printing volume. Okay, so basically this is what I would like to share today on this Canon Technical Talk. So next, I will actually pass it back to Mr. Chong for his his upcoming promotion programs. Okay, Chong, you can actually take over.
Thank you, Wilson. I will share my screen now. Okay, thank you everyone. Now I would like to share with you what are the promotion we are going to have for this World Architect Days. Okay, and this promotion is exclusive for PAM member only. First, this is this TM5200, which is the A1 size plotter. Okay, although this is an entry-level machines, but this is equipped with the best features such as 150-meter rules, 300 ml ink tank, and 3 years on-site warranty. And also, we come to this TM5205. Basically, this is similar to the 5200 that you saw just now, but this is come with the hard disk. Okay, so this is the hard disk version of TM5200 and also A1 size. What is the advantage of having hard disk model? Where it can help to keep the files and enable reprint on the machines. And also we come to, this is the hottest hotcake of Canon plotters are TM5300. And also this also come with 150 meters rows compared to some of other brand models is only able to fit in 50-meter rows. And also this model also come with the 300 ml ink tank as well as a 3 years on-site warranty. Is less than 10,000. Okay, 5305, which is the hard disk version of the 5300. Okay, now come to the TM5200 MFT model. This is the 5200 come with the additional scanner. Okay, so what can we do with this? With this 3-in-1 MFP, you not only can plot, you also can scan and copy. One of our MFP advantage is you can print and scan at the same times. Okay, so for 5300, we also have more than 5,000 discount for the WAD promo. So now come to our mid-range model, TX series. So TX series actually have two models. One is 36-inch and another one is 44-inch. Okay, so these two models actually we can meet 180 A1 print per hour. So the special 700 ml ink tanks save more than 30% in the ink tank cost compared to the TM series. Also, now come to the TZ series, which is the latest model that introduced by Canon. So this is the higher range of plotter that we have. The special features not only impressive 240 prints A1 per hour, but also you can see further cost down on the ink tank cost as well. So members, please snapshot this voucher and you can WhatsApp to us for a free redemption for the purchase of paper roll and ink tanks, regardless whether you are our existing customer or not. You can utilize this voucher and claim your discount for the paper rolls and ink tanks. And lastly, this is a special deal for the Malacca and Johor PAM member. For whoever who purchase a plotter with us, we will come with a 1-year free rental for the Canon photocopier. So that's all for our today promo, and thank you for your time. Okay. So if for those that not able to snapshot the detail that we have just now, you can also WhatsApp or call Mr. Boon at this number 016-717-0107. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wilson, and thank you, Mr. Cheong. Okay, so for the next session, for the first webinar of the day, titled RTS Bukit Cagar Station, Integration of Two at Creativity Behind the Scenes. Kami jemput moderator kami pada pagi ini daripada PAMSo Committee Member, iaitu Arkitek Hanis Nazura binti Abu Hassan dan juga Arkitek T. Nur Syahrani bin Mokhtar, bersama dengan wakil daripada SM Arkitek dan Berhad, menampilkan 4 speaker mereka, iaitu Arkitek Chin Yi Chong, Arkitek Lam Ji Hui, dan juga Arkitek Eugene Wong Chia Hui, dan akhir sekali Arkitek Yu Hong Seng. Okay, so tanpa melengahkan masa, saya serahkan kepada moderator untuk sesi webinar pertama ini. Dipersilakan.
Okey, terima kasih Tuan MC Encik Hairul Naim. Bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Hello and welcome again to all participants to the second day of PAMSo's World Architectural Day 2021. With this year's theme, Clean Environment for a Healthy World, presented especially to you by PAMSo in collaboration with Pertubuhan Architect Malaysia, KL, together with our main event partners, Master Paint, Canon, and Kextra. This event is made possible on this virtual platform by team studioKAIZEN. My name is Architect Sharani. Together with Architect Hanis Nazura, we are both proud members of PAMSo. The two of us will co-moderate the first installment of today's webinars. Architect Hanis.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good morning. So our first webinar this morning, RTS Bukit Chaga Station, Integration of Two, Creativity Behind the Scene. So a quick recap, on 23rd November 2020, PAM and MRT Corp jointly announced the Facade Design Ideas Competition for the planned RTS link in Bukit Chaga, Johor Bahru. It was a nationwide competition open to all PAM corporate members to find the best entry. So, and the rest are history, one of our very own Johor-based practice, SM Architect Sendirian Berhad, and the team has won the first prize. We are very lucky to have here with us today 4 individuals from the winning team.
Okay, lucky indeed, since many of us been looking forward to this talk for quite some time. And I know I do. So ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to introduce to you our key speakers. First up is Architect Chin Yi Cheong, Director of SM Architect Sendirian Berhad Johor Bahru. He is also Director at Swan and McLaren Malaysia Sendirian Berhad. Architect Chin received his Bachelor of Architecture degree from University of South Australia. Since the early 90s, Architect Chin has been developing his acumenship in this business. He has a wide ranging experience under his belt, both in design and project execution in housing, commercial, industrial, institution, you name it. Notably, he was a team member of the award-winning residential project G Lagoon at Taman Street, Austin, JB. And recently, he has successfully spearheaded the winning team of the RTS Facade Design Competition. Anis?
Okay, next we have Architect Lim Ji Kui, Senior Architect at Swan and McLaren Johor Bahru Sendirian Berhad. He received his architecture education from University Technology Malaysia, began his career in 2012 working with Y Architect Sendirian Berhad, and becoming part of Swan and McLaren MyJB members as associate and also senior architect in 2019 until the recent years.
We also have Architect Yu Hong Seng. Apology if I mispronounce your name, sir. He's a senior architect and associate at Swan and McLaren Private Limited, Singapore. Architect Yu received both his Bachelor and Master of Architecture from NUS. Architect Yu is one of the key personnel at Swan and McLaren. He has been delivering projects in Singapore, Cambodia, Thailand, China, and Malaysia for 10 years now. Of course, he was also one of the main contributors within the winning team of the RTS Facade Design Competition.
And together with us is also Architect Eugene Wong Chia Wei, Group Director of Swan and McLaren Private Limited Singapore, holds his Bachelor of Architecture from University of New South Wales, Sydney, Australia. With his almost 3 decades of experience, he is appointed as the Director of Swan and McLaren Architects Private Limited Singapore since 2015.
Okay, so the 4 of them are here to share with us their experience, their approach, their philosophy, possibly behind the scenes stories, the mechanics, so to say, of the winning entry. We urge everyone to give full attention because these 4 handsome gentlemen here are going to spill the beans. They are about to reveal the secret of their success. Our webinar this morning has a 1.5 hour time allocation, 1 hour for presentation and half an hour for Q&A session. Please remember to post your questions in the Q&A box or raise your hand so that our tech team may switch on your mic if you so desire. So Architect Chin, Architect Lam, Architect Yu, and Architect Eugene Wong, the floor is all yours. Silakan Tuan-Tuan Architect, silakan.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning. Yeah.
Morning.
The video is on, right? Yeah. So should be.
No, Chin, your video is not on. There's a SM sign.
Yeah.
Would you like to turn on your video so that your truly handsome face can be seen?
I think we are unable to turn on the video for some reason. Yeah.
Okay, then we should just carry on.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chin. Yep.
Okay. I shall start with some introductions. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chin Yi Chung from SM Architects. Firstly, we would like to thank PAM Southern Chapter for inviting us to talk about our RTS Bukit Chaga Station Idea Competition Design in today's World Architecture Day event. It was indeed an honor for us that our design was selected as the winner. Next I would like to introduce our colleagues. No doubt, just to recap, because the organizers have introduced. Okay, I would like to introduce my colleague from SM Architects, my fellow director Eugene Wong, and senior architects associate Yu Hang Seng and Lam Jit Kui. All of us will be contributing at various sections of the talk. Yeah, I will start with a bit of the background of SM Architects. Can you move the slide? Yeah. Okay, SM Architects started in 1996 in Johor Bahru, about 25 years ago, by Chin and Eugene, and we were known as a Vantage Architect then, and doing mostly local JV project for various developers and individual clients. The firm was incorporated in 2004 and became a Sendirian Berhad, basically for the ease of corporate management. In 2015, our firm went into JV and collaboration with the Swan and McLaren Design Group of Singapore, and we changed our practice name to SM Architects. This is in line with our expansion of architectural services to the region outside of Johor Bahru. Okay, next. For today's talk, we will cover a few topics as shown on the slides. Basically, it's the RTS project and the competition background, our design approach, philosophy, and the RTS station concept and design process, the structural, material, lighting concept, and the building maintenance strategy and the climatic responses of the buildings. Okay, next. Firstly, I would like to share some of the information of the Rapid Transit System, short form for RTS Link. RTS Link is a railway shuttle link approximately about 4 kilometers in length, connecting two stations, one in Bukit Chaga, Johor Bahru, and the other in Woodlands, Singapore. It will be a modern light rail transit LRT system that will provide a high volume, fast and efficient transportation. As an international link between Malaysia and Singapore, the RTS Link project includes the building of a new immigration, custom, and quarantine ICQ facility next to the station at Bukit Chaga. Similarly, the RTS Link station in Woodlands North in Singapore will also have CIQ facilities. The Malaysian CIQ and the Singapore CIQ facility will be co-located within the same building. This will allow the entire immigration process of leaving and entering Go country to be completed at the departing station in order to save time on immigration clearance. Okay, I also wish to share some of the background of this RTS Link Station facade design competition. RTS Link Bukit Chaga Station is a major national public project. It will be a new southern Johor gateway connecting Malaysia and Singapore. The project will see about 10,000 passengers per hour commuting each way to help ease traffic congestion on the Johor Causeway. It will also be a key economic catalyst to bring forth increased economic activities, jobs creation, mutual prosperity, and bringing the people of both nations closer together. The groundbreaking ceremony was done on the 22nd November last year, and the competition was announced one day later on the 23rd November, jointly by PAN and MRT Corp. It was a national design idea competition intended to find a good solution for the 3-story elevated station facade design in terms of architectural image, innovation, technology, construction efficiency, sustainability, ease of maintenance, and function. It is also to find a facade design concept that encompasses the culture, the heritage, the essence and characteristic of a Johor identity within a modern facility that will project the dynamism and confident outlook of Johor State in the 21st century. About 190 designs were submitted on the 25th of January this year, and a few submissions were shortlisted, and the announcement of the winner was on the 25th of February this year. Okay, before we start our talk on the RTS facade design, we would like to show you the fly-through video of our RTS final designs submitted for the competition. Thank you. We will.
The organizer will share the video.
Or the organizer will share the video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we can't control from here. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, before we, I would like to invite my colleague Eugene Wong to talk about our design approaches philosophy.
Okay, thank you, Jin. Yep, we have control now. Okay, thanks. Good morning, everyone, to all my fellow architects, datos and professors, and all the distinguished architects and guests. We are really honored to be able to share with you this morning, all of you, some of these ideas. And I think as fellow architects, we want to treat it like a discussion. It's like a discourse, a sharing session, because I don't think our ideas, the ideas which we share may or may not suit a certain architectural style, but at least it's one style which we would like to share so that it can be meaningfully discussed and debated. So to begin with, to begin with, yeah, I'm born in Johor Bahru. According to my mother, Sultan Aminah Hospital. So I grew up in Kampong Tarum in JB, went to a local school. And when I was growing up, because as an architect, to share, I just want to just explain the history of people my generation, what we are influenced by, how we see things during our generation, and how, yes, over the years, maybe mold us to the kind of architect or profession which we are. So if you just bear with me, I just go back a little bit to my charita last time. Okay, so yeah, so these are the kind of buildings we see. The State Secretariat building, which was very impressive then. It was one of the biggest buildings growing up. Then we see the local shop houses and also the kampong house, which is actually quite interesting. But of course, I grew up in rumah papan, so there's nothing to shout about. But these are the kind of impressions which we had actually growing up. Okay, so like most of us, my generation, we went overseas. So for my case, I've been introduced. I went to Australia to study, New South Wales, and during that time there was a movement of between arts and architecture, that there's a very close correlation. The modernist movement, so to speak. So we were taught a lot about this modernist movement. And as you can see in the diagram there is actually a picture of the Mondrian painting. But a painting is two-dimensional. But what we were taught is to see how we can interpret a three-dimensional approach to how we see things. So with this, we can extrapolate the spaces. So when we look at the two-dimensional picture, when we extrapolate to three dimension, that's where we start to create spaces within the wall, so to speak, and the planes. Okay. So if you just allow me to demonstrate, so if we extrapolate the space, and we can create dynamic spaces, because growing up, a room is a room with the windows and the doors. But actually, we can make dynamic spaces simply by pulling out the walls. Okay, this is epitomized by the Barcelona Pavilion. I think a lot of you academics and all that would have known in your education about this particular building that was actually very much debated during our time. So it was then that it took us, it influenced a lot of us. So as you can see, the diagrams, the planes actually define spaces, and it actually creates a rather dynamic space within the walls, and it doesn't have to be four walls, okay? Similarly, Falling Waters by Frank Lloyd Wright, it actually has a similar kind of approach to design. So we were very much influenced then by this sort of design. In our earlier years, we actually did some of our houses trying to capture this kind of characters. As you can see, some of the plans which we did for villa, right? And these are some of the images which we actually have the final results between the planes and the slabs and the walls. Okay, we also introduced some of these concepts to condominium layouts, where we have asymmetrical composition of spaces, of linear planes and vertical planes to create spaces in between. Sorry, a bit slow. Yeah. Okay, another painting that actually influenced us is this other painting by Picasso. Okay, so there are also more dynamic lines. There's a bit of lag here, my apologies. Okay, there's a bit of, there's a dynamic lines when we start to interpret these pictures, paintings, and you can see that by doing these walls on a dynamic fashion, you can actually create dynamic spaces. And some of the buildings in Europe actually capture this character to develop. Personally, we never had the opportunity to do it because no clients will allow us to do this kind of things. But at least, you know, somebody has tried it out overseas. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but we did try out one in Mumbai. It was a proposal, but it didn't go ahead. The site, the views and all that actually allows us to do this. So we did attempt in our earlier years. Okay. Similarly, we did this, it's in China, a master plan for a medical university. So with this, we can create vistas, avenues, and spaces. So the buildings actually become our linear planes, and the open spaces are actually captured by the negative and positive spaces. so to speak. This actually creates interesting vistas. Okay, so at the end, our office philosophy, we actually have different kind of space configuration. One is the asymmetrical, 2 is the non-octagonal composition, or 3, a combination of the both. So very often our office, we will use these 3 spaces to actually try and create spaces. I think what we are trying to do is we are trying to push the boundary of how we define spaces. And that's the essence of the movement which we were taught in school. Okay, this can be translated, of course, to elevation. Hello? Yes, so this can be translated into elevation. A typical house will have a top, which is a roof, a body, and a base, right? But our office, we will look at it similarly, but in a different, more contemporary outlook. 1 is the contemporary form, 2 is grouping, 3 is actually more what we call crystalline, and 4 lately, which is only introduced lately, we have with the twisted form, which is almost into the parametric architecture, which is what I will discuss subsequently. Okay, so for the space and form, the contemporary form is very similar.
Okay, alright. Masih tenang. Betul lah, tak ada ni.
Hello.
Boleh je cakap, dia tenang, kalau ada apa-apa.
Hello, Architect Azri. Can you silence our mic?
Okay,
Architect Azri. Hello, Architect
Azri.
Okay,
masih tenang.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry about that. This is from our Architect Azri.
Somebody is
the host needs to mute, please.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So, so in terms of elevation treatment, we can also have the same systematic approach for our office. 1 is the loosely organized form, which is very similar to the Mondrian painting. Okay, thanks. And then we tried it in one of our buildings in Singapore. This was a proposal, didn't go ahead, but as you can see, the characteristics of the forms are actually being introduced. Okay, we also introduced the group form into some of our projects in JB. This is one actually semi-D houses. So even when it comes to simple housing, we can actually introduce this sort of concept into the elevation. Yeah, and some of our apartments will have the group form too, arranged in this similar manner. Okay, then we have what we call the asymmetrical, a very dynamic sort of crystalline forms, which is intuitively organized. But as you can see, it still has the basic base, body, and roof, so to speak. And we have tried some of this proposal. This is one in Sri Lanka, but it wasn't built. This is in Cambodia, okay, a proposal. And finally, we tried what we call the twisted form. And this is taking a base shape and trying to twist it into a certain form. Okay, this one is actually built, it's in China, and it's actually completed a couple of years ago. Okay, so also just to introduce this slide, because of technological advances now, with very powerful computers, we can actually have what we call parametric architecture, which is championed by Zaha Hadid and some of her colleagues. Essentially, the essence doesn't differ from where we start out from. Where we started out from is we try to push the boundaries of space, create the feeling of space in terms of plans and elevation. And it's just that with new technology, the planes, instead of just simple rectangular boards being put in horizontal and vertical, you can actually have a very curvilinear kind of structure, which actually creates a very dynamic space within the envelope of this form. So this is just, instead of just going straight into the design and how we come up, we felt that it's necessary just to explain a little bit very quickly on our thinking, our approach, and how we actually have evolved over the years to where we are today. So it's a series of design evolvement. And with this, we actually we actually sat down as a team, because we like what we are doing now, we are sharing as a team. And when we design, we also design as a team. So that's where we come together and everybody put down ideas and challenge each other. So for this job, when we first started, we actually challenged ourselves. What is the central theme which we want to bring across? Yes, we want it to be an iconic building. Yes, we want it to look good. Yes, we want it to be practical. But we still have to have a main idea. We still have to have a central theme. So what we set up for ourselves is because it's a train station, we wanted the feeling of movement, okay, of very dynamic movement, number one. We also wanted to bring across the idea of connectivity, as well as the coming together of Singapore and Johor Bahru as two very important cities together on an equal basis. And we also want to create very dynamic spaces with openings so that they can actually view out to the JB city skyline. So these are the few ideas which we actually set ourselves to actually try to achieve. So that is the context of how we actually came together and what's the objective we wanted to achieve when we formulated this design. So thank you very much for indulging me for these few minutes. And I'll pass this time back to Chin, so that because it's a collaborative effort, we also want to share this idea collaboratively. Thank you very much. Chin, please.
The control back to us.
Yep.
The screen control. Yep. Okay, now we would like to talk a bit more about our concept for the RTS station. Eugene had already bring up some of the points. We derive our design concept from the following. Firstly is the historical context. The slide. Okay, you know, for centuries, the relationship between Johor and Singapore has been very close, almost inseparable. From the completion of the Johor-Singapore Causeway in 1924 to the forming of Federation of Malaya in 1963, Johor and Singapore seems destined to form an unbreakable bond. And the Causeway was, and it is still, the major link between the two countries. And these are some recent photos taken at the Causeway. The signing ceremony of the RTS project by prime ministers as well as the foreign minister from both countries. And the emphasis here is working together. And so we found inspiration in this image of the two hands holding each other's wrists. Yeah. In summary, we will have the context, and then from context, we derive the connections. And from the connection, we creating gateways, and then the intertwined forms, and then the porosities. And so we wanted the final design of the RTS station to be iconic, and the form should be a powerful image that breathes out the spirit of history between Johor and Singapore, embracing and supporting each other. And also, we found inspiration in our cultural elements of the crease. It's a symbols of heroism, art, and beauty. Then you can see the bands. So we pick up the bands. Also, in the royal crown, it's a symbol of power and strength, and also the band that we pick up. And finally, it's a symbol of a grand gateway to link two countries together. Okay, so our main concept of the station design will be the integration of two. I will hand over this talk to architect Yu Hang Singh to talk about the design process, how we from concept we bring to a building form and facade. Okay, Hang Singh,
yeah, thanks, Chin. Just to add, yes, it's one concept, but within that one concept, there's a lot of different ideas and different challenges which we actually apply to ourselves. So Hang Singh will now take us through. Hang Singh is from Johor Bahru also. So he will now take us through the actual design, which is actually a very long and tedious process. But I'll leave it to him to actually describe.
Yeah. Thank you, Eugene. Thank you, Mr. Chin. Hi, very good morning to everyone. I'm Hang Singh. It's a very tedious process. It's not an easy process. Anyway, I'm one of the designers, one of the architects working closely with the team, with Eugene and with Mr. Chin to deliver this project. Let me see if I can control the screen. Sorry. All right. Yes. So the central idea of this design is the integration of two. We named the project as the integration of two because, like Mr. Chen rightly pointed out, we are very inspired by the relationship between these two cities, these two countries. It's very interesting, right? In terms of history, culture, the interaction between the people. I'm from Johor. Eugene, Mr. Chin, and I'm sure our fellow architects on the line, a lot of us also from Johor. I'm sure you have encountered or meet people, a student going to Singapore to study, or Singaporean coming to Johor for shopping, weekend shopping, and some relatives, they are even staying in Singapore, or things like that. So this relationship is very interesting, very powerful, and very beautiful. It's not like North Korea and South Korea. No, it's not like that. The relationship between Johor Bahru and Singapore is very, very close. We do not hate each other. Instead, we kind of rely on each other. We enhance each other. So we think that this is a very beautiful relationship. And the challenge is, how to conceptualize this relationship into an architectural piece, right? So the question is how? Now, so I'm going to show you the design process in the following slides. I would like to take the opportunity to share with our fellow architects here, like a discussion. I'm sure there are a lot more rooms for us to learn from you all. So we just take the opportunity to have some discussion with you all. All right. So before I start, let's put you all into the context first. This is the RTS station, and you can see far away there is the Singapore. And this is the site plan. You can see that the RTS station is actually at the number 1, right? Number 3 is the existing CIQ. For those who are quite familiar with JB urban scheme, you should understand this. The number 3, there is the CIQ. Then also next to Comda and City Square, right? So this is the design. It consists of 2 layers of the band, right? We call upper band and the lower band. And each layer actually got 8. So you can see it's like 8 bands on top and 8 bands below. And number of 8 is also a very good to Chinese, right? 8 meaning prosperity. So we have 88, we have 8 8s, okay, in this form. Now I cut a section, you can see like that, upper band and the lower band. We have 8 bands on top, 8 bands below. And for the below one, we actually also have the glass layer. for weather protection, right? So the whole length is about 200 meters and the width is about 50, okay? So now I will bring you through some of the design process. I mean, we designer, we do design, we know there's no, it's not like mathematics or engineering process, 1 + 1 = 2. No such thing. We sit down as a team, we work very closely, you know, we debate, we put drawings, we put idea on the table, then we invite all the designers to brainstorm and we challenge each other, you know, to see which design can capture the essence the best, right? The integration of two, the intertwined relationship. And once we finalize that, when we pick the one of the design scheme ready, and we work very closely with the modeling team to realize this, you know, to make it happen. So I'm going to share with you some of the design process. The integration of two is a very big word. So we would like to have two items, you know, to interlock or intertwine. That's how we started off this idea. And it's not easy, right? We actually tested out in the model, started off from the grid line, whether it's 24 meters or 12 meters or 48 meters. We try and error many times in order for us to get the right proportion. Right. After we get it, the basic form right, then we go into the platform to look at the spatial quality, and we also use the model to see, you know, from the exterior and the interior. Yeah. You all can't wait to raise question already. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I continue. Yeah. So it's like this process, From sketch, then we derive the model, then we study from the model. And, you know, with the skeleton, it's not strong enough. We do not just want the framework and the skeleton to interlock. We don't want. And after that, we put a skin on top. No, this is not what we want. And we derive the idea. Why not we incorporate the skeleton, the structure, and the skin together, and we make this to interlock with each other, you know, Singapore and Malaysia, each one, you know, to interlock each other. And that's how we bring the discussion into another layer, into another level, right? And in our office, we also rely a lot on hand sketch, right? We work closely with the modeling team. Don't get me wrong, modeling 3D computer is a very good tool. It is very amazing. It actually increases the efficiency, right? For us to, it might also give us a different opportunity to see things. But again, I don't know, I'm a bit old school. So I still like to have a little bit of the human touch on the hand sketch. So after the modeling team done certain thing, we print out, then we put on the table. We invite Eugene and Mr. Chin, everyone, you know, sit down and we draw. We want to find the right curve, the right line.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Just to add, a lot of us, because of this computerized nature, we tend to work a lot with computers. But personally, we feel that nothing beats a hand sketch because there's a free flow of ideas coming from your mind straight through your hands and onto pen and paper. But again, like Hang Seng said, that is the way we work. We debate, we sketch on each other's drawings. No offense, right, Hang Seng? Okay. So this is where we challenge ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And because computer modeling is the line is, to me, the line is quite dead, right? Line is a line. But when you sketch, there are a lot of buffer zone. There are a lot of space for imagination. That's how we create this buffer zone to allow the design to evolve, to grow, you know. It's a little bit complicated, but okay, yeah. So we carry on, yeah. So we sketch, with model, we print out, we sketch. We want to find the right curve, the right proportion. And the modeling team take on the sketch and further improve the model. But you can see, it's still a very big difference. The modeling team also at the time also a bit struggle. Don't know how to create this dynamic curve. But we work closely to achieve that. So we never give up. We continue to give comment, to say that, we need a little bit more like bulan sabit, that kind of curve, more dynamic. And I want to have a very strong head and a tail kind of things. Right. And that's how we work together. And the modeling team is also very hardworking and managed to capture that. We slowly proceed the whole design process. And slowly you can see the structure, the idea is getting there already. Right? And we also further refine the line to make it more dynamic. And again, that's why I say computer modeling is a very good tool. Nowadays, especially for this kind of curve architecture, it's quite difficult for us to make a physical study model, to look at three-dimensionally, to look at 360 degree. So we also rely on the model, a computer model. So from this model, we study the elevation, we study the back, the front, the hero shot, the bird eye view. We study every corner, and again we sketch. We sketch on every corner. We want to make sure the line is right, that the design is right. We do not want the design to be determined by the computer language. I want the design to be determined by our hand, by the architect's idea. Yeah. So we slowly, work together and improve the design. It is a long process. Everything is in progress. We keep on adjusting every day and night, in order to meet the deadline to submit this RTS scheme. And yeah, it's getting there. Again, we study this platform level. And sometimes, we need a fresh eye. Sometimes the design team looking at the design day and night, you miss out something, you have some blind spot. So we also invite different designer to step in to have a critique among our office, to have a critique to give us a new perspective to see how to improve. So one of the comments is this, that during this process is that instead of adding things in, I think it's time to remove the things. It's time to take out some not important things, so the architecture can be simple, can stand out, right? So in this case, we have the concourse, we have the platform. So we like to tone down the platform. We want the skin to come out. This is just one of the examples. We do have this kind of internal critique session, and the team will give ideas to improve the design. All right, so we turn down the platform, and we want to make the bands to stand out more, right? And again, this is just a process. I will not go into very detail. Adjust, make it more elegant, more dynamic, press down here, pull up there, make the tower more cruise, slimline, more slick a bit. And this is the sketch, right? When it comes to this stage, we know it's about there already. The design team feel quite happy, quite satisfied with this, right? We have a very strong idea that the intertwine, the interlocking is captured in this design, and also quite dynamic. We have a head, we have a tail. We know it's getting there, right? And we further improve the model. We add in a little bit more detail now. So all the bands, we also want to break it. Instead of one big bulan sabit, we break it into half, so it looks more elegant. And we also study, again, study different angle, street view, the internal, to see how the light and shadow. I mean, although it's a facade competition, but we also want to focus on the interior, the internal space. What kind of architectural spaces that we want the commuters, the passenger can feel. The moment they step out from the train from Singapore, the moment they step out to the platform, what are they going to see, right? Not only the facade, but the interior and the light and shadow we're going to bring in. All right, and different angles, because it's very big, 200 meter by 50. So we also pull ourselves out to see, you know, from an urban context, how does it look like? Yeah, and that's the final design, right? 2 layers, X on top, X below, and we have a strong head, right? Like a gateway welcoming people. And end up, we also have a tower look-alike, a sculpture at the back to anchor it, to balance up the whole proportion. Yeah, that's all for the design process. So now, before I hand over to Architect Lam, he will cover the structure and the material construction part. Before that, Eugene or Mr. Chin, you have anything to add for the design process?
No, I think it's a process, and as you can see, it has to be quite a fluid and enjoyable process. It's something which the team has to enjoy doing, and we work with mutual respect to come up with the scheme. It's always a challenge because as architects we'll always fight, but at the end of the day, I think by working at it, by looking at it, the good design will still prevail. Yeah,
it's a different
yeah. Lam, you want to take over now, because it's not only a nice design that we have to come out with. We are cognizant that it has to be practical too. So buildability, maintenance, and all that has to come into play. So if you allow us a few minutes, Lam will quickly take us through to the construction site and the maintenance site. Lam, you're there? You're on?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry, there's an echo here.
Yeah. Is it okay?
Let's adjust some of the devices.
Okay, too many devices.
Can you turn off one of them?
Hold on, yeah. Yeah, is it better now?
No.
Yeah, our apologies for the technical hiccup. Hello, did you turn off the main one also?
Yeah, is it better now?
No, it's not.
There's still echo. You have to turn off everything.
Yes, is it better?
No.
I think it's the other computer.
So
you on 2 computers. No. It's not that one.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Is it good? Okay. Right. All right. Okay. Sorry about the technical glitches. Yeah. Thank you, Hansen and Eugene. Especially just now bringing us through the interesting journey on the design process. All right. Good morning. Yeah, I'm Lam. I'll be sharing with you on the section B and section C. Because the competition also calls for justification of buildability and practicality of the facade design. That's why I'll be sharing with you the 2 sections here. Yep. Okay. Yeah, it is not a very conventional structure to do with in our daily practice. With such an intertwining, twisting shape, we also crack our head on how will the structure be. We did some case studies on how other similar structures work and what system are they using. So you can see here at the left, is the Bangkok Airport concourse area, where they apply the 5-pin truss systems. Take notice on the pin number 5, right? This is holding both sides of the structure together, which causes them to be very, very strong. So now this example is not very, very curved enough. Thus, at the right, you can see here is the Phoenix International Media Center located in Beijing. The moment we see this case study, yes, we tell ourselves, yes, ours is possible. So China is actually very proud of this building because it is the first massive parametric structure designed and built by their own. So, and also without any foreigners. And here we are very proud to have the opportunity to be involved in parametric architecture. So we come back to our experimental lab. We did a simple structural concept study on how strong the shape is. We used paper model to study. And the first model on the top is the traditional arch. Arch itself is very strong. The second photo is an experiment to twist the arch to achieve the form that we wanted. In fact, it is a bit shaky, less strong as compared to the conventional arch. The third photo shows crossing of two arches, where the upper band is tied with the lower band, and they are very, very strong. It is just like the Bangkok Airport, the pin number 5. And it is very, very poetic. The two arches are just like the two arms holding to each other. So philosophy has turned into practicality. Although it is organic in shape and form, we try to break down into smaller modular system. For competition purpose, we are required to study a module of the structure. And we felt the suitable structure would be it is called the steel truss girder system. And by the way, this is done using SketchUp modeling. Our team also spent quite an amount of time in exploring how to model in SketchUp. So the translucent part is actually glass roof. I think just now Hansen had mentioned on this. And this glass roof is sandwiched and supported between two solid bands. Now, the parametric glass truss girders is the primary structure, be it on the upper and lower bands. They hold the entire facade. And there are 8 upper and lower bands or the 8 modules. Yes, it is an auspicious number 8, but we tested and this and arrived with 8 bands as the best proportion to the facade. The glass roof is a secondary structure. And then the facade skin layer is also another secondary structure. Yeah, it is not convincing unless there is a professional engineer endorsement of the structure. Eventually, we partnered up with an engineer to study the structure. They took our SketchUp model and worked out the structural analysis. On the screen here, it is a deflection analysis. The deflections of structures are important for ensuring that the design structure is not excessively flexible, because this might cause damage or cracking of the non-structural elements. In this analysis, it's not too bad. So initially, the engineer told us that we might need to adjust the shed a bit if the test results require us to do so. And we are very concerned if we could not have the right proportion of the structural analysis, after the structural analysis. But it turned out to be good. The engineer was also surprised. The existing design without any changes is almost perfect structurally. Yeah, the engineer will still need to develop and strengthen the part in red. And yes, it is very confirmed. It can be done, and we are very relieved. Of course, this is still a very preliminary structure design. Engineer produced this to run the test to see our form, and the structure looks dense and heavy. It can be developed and optimized to be more lightweight. Let's look at another view, how it gels with the station platform. The structure sits on the huge beam portal, which span across the existing KTM tracks below. At the left, it is almost abutting the road, a very tight and congested site. Yeah, here you are, the rendered view. So remember the pin number 5 at Bangkok Airport concourse area. This is the prelim study of how the upper and lower bands join each other. The platform dynamic curve shape. And in short, structure can be realized. So next, we want to talk about materials. At the exterior, due to its curvature profile, we ask ourselves what kind of material that is suitable. After some research, we propose to use fiber-reinforced polymer with engraved Islamic pattern. This is the same material used in some of Zaha's buildings. I'll show you some case studies later. And part of the roof is intended to be glass. The ceiling is also to be as clean, as sleek as possible and have a matching fluid language. Whereas the concourse levels, we will keep it clean with simple louvers. Now the case study. So this is a cultural center in Baku, Azerbaijan, designed by Zaha. It is using GFRC, glass fiber reinforced concrete, and
polymer.
GFRP, glass fiber reinforced polyester. We felt the character of this material suits our design. In short, it can be done. And we did several studies on some possible materials for the facade. So eventually we recommended fiber reinforced polyester for this design because of the performance benefits, as you can read here, and also its flexibility for the dynamic form. And next, we want to talk about lighting. We start with this external lighting. This is day view. Let me show you some graphic simulation of the lighting at night. This is late afternoon simulation, and nowadays LED can do wonders. Important buildings and landmarks around the world offer light and laser show at night, attracting crowd. One of the good examples would be Burj Khalifa building in Dubai. And locally, Salomon Bridge, the one in Kampung Baru, KL, both structures successfully attracted people to take Instagram pictures day and night. Yeah, the night view. Even celebrating Southern Tigers win. There are two purposes of the facade lighting. And not only it highlights the architecture of the building, it also creates mood. Just like the Bayern Munich Stadium, which is famous for the facade LED display. They show colors, they show flags, even festive celebration when they win. The interior view on the daytime. And the late afternoon, very sleek. You can see here the very sleek concealed curved lights. And we also want to have some animations and motions in the station. And thus we can have pixelated LED lights. It light up and animates as the train approaches. And despite the dynamic form and high ceiling, it is still practical to do maintenance with the help of BMU systems. We went on to research what are the suitable systems. From ground, we can use skylift to reach the ceiling, and then climb up to the monorail to service the ceiling area. So there will be access to the rooftop. While at the rooftop, there could be abseiling ties or traversing ladder between each module. And the next section, we would like to talk about sustainability concepts. We identify a few challenges, such as sound and heat, ventilation, and rain splash. As with a glass roof, yes, we enjoy natural light, but at the same time, it permits sunlight and heat. So low-E glass or filter glass could help mitigate this problem. As for ventilation, the building footprint is long. There will be ventry effects for comfortable temperature. And this is a new project. We also wanted to experiment new things, such as Dyson Bladeless fan system. And there could be also possibility to use radiant flow cooling system, where you could install cold pipes along the floor slab to reduce temperature at human level. We recognize the openings at both ends are quite huge, and they might welcome rain. But after studying the platform planning, there are actually service zones at both ends. So the passenger zone, the one in yellow, is protected from the rain splash. So in summary, to achieve sustainability, we introduced number one, low-E glass. Number two, at both sides, there are actually 3 meter gap between facade and platform for airflow and natural ventilation. Yeah. Number 3, there could be floor cooling ventilation system, or even the Dyson concept. Yeah, this is our second last slide. So with this, I hand back the time to Mr. Chin and Eugene to do a summary of today's sharing. Thank you.
Okay, Eugene, you want to share first, or
Yeah, let me unmute myself. Yes, thank you very much. I think first of all, I want to thank Pam and for the opportunity of this competition. I think it gives architects an opportunity to explore, to test, and to really push our boundaries in terms of the architecture we want on a particular building. So we take that we take this triumph as a win for the citizens of Johor Bahru. And incidentally, this building has been submitted for the World Architecture Festival in Lisbon, and it has been shortlisted as one of the finalists for the Future Infrastructure Transport project. The final judging the final judges will decide at the end of this year. So hopefully, if we gain anything, it will be another milestone for Malaysian architecture, especially Johor Bahru. Secondly, I want to thank all our staff who has worked tirelessly on these jobs. A lot of them are stationed in JB. All our staffs who have been trained by the local universities, who have contributed, and I think together we have learned a lot in developing this. So it's a very complex. It's actually a very simple brief. We just need a shelter. But as you can see, a shelter is just a shelter. But if we expand the envelope, if we really push ourselves, we can make it an envelope, but also a nice envelope that encompasses history, culture, climatic response, structure, and the beauty of the form and the composition. So I tell our team that it's actually our responsibility to ensure that we deliver something which is world-class to the city of Johor Bahru. So that will be our next milestone after this competition. Right, Chin?
Yes. So I would like to thank everybody again. I hope you enjoyed the talk, and I think we will have a Q&A session, right? If you have any question you want to ask, just post it to the organizer. Then we will try to answer as best as we can.
Yeah.
So, okay, I hand this back to our organizer. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you very much, all the panels, for the sharing insight and also inspirations. I hope all of you enjoyed this amazing presentation. So I see that this proposal has taken into considerations of all necessary angle, the philosophy, the buildability, and also the environmental consideration. It is no doubt that this proposal is a winning proposal. So I think we need to find any question from the participants. You can leave your question in the chat box, or you can raise your hand so we can unmute. Okay, before that, I have one question, maybe to Architect Eugene and Architect Hanseng, since both of you are born and bred in Johor Bahru.
Oh, I'm not.
Oh, you're not? Okay. Architect Eugene, is it? Okay. How do you think that this winning proposal contribute to the ideas of local architecture or represent the Johor identity? As most of the people have the idea of Johor identity should hold the historical value. So would you share your views on this?
Yes, okay. I think this is just my personal view, which I will share. I think Johor has a very strong history of their architecture, especially the Rumah Johor, so on and so forth. But we need to constantly anchor ourselves to our history, but still explore the boundaries of what Johor architecture needs to look like. And I think different buildings will offer different opportunities of how we can explore and create our own identity. So for this particular case, I think what we wanted to showcase is also the technological advances of the Johorians and the construction abilities of the Johor construction industry. From that angle, I think we try to answer several of these questions. On the heritage side, I think a lot of the ideas that actually comes together on this is the connectivity of the two cities, and also the ability to try and create an answer. If we incidentally, now that you mentioned it, before we started the design, we actually had an internal mini competition within all of us, where everybody will have the lunchtime session, 1A4, 2A4, and everybody just sketch out what we think it should look like. And one of Hang Seng's brilliant idea is to have two Malay house roofs coming together, as a shelter for that. I think in some extent we might still work. Hang Seng still believes that works, but again, yes, that's one approach. But is that the only approach that we can have? Just looking back at what we have. How about the future? How about absorbing the integrity, the essence of the space below this roof, and then exploring something different? So to me, I think this building will set us to another stage of Johor architecture, where we actually explore parametrics construction, where we will actually showcase the spaces and dynamism of Johor architects. I hope that answers your question to a certain extent. Thanks.
Yes. Thank you very much for the explanation and the answer. Architect T. Sharani, do we have any question from the participants?
Just a quick one. Okay. My impression, you guys came up with a very clear concept that completely grasps the intent of the purpose. You took it beyond the cultural or national interpretations, coming together of two hands, universal symbol of friendship, cooperation, neighborly. Actually so obvious, but I believe most of us either look elsewhere or just didn't see it as clearly as you guys did. It's a very apt concept indeed, and the execution. Oh man, I'm even better. It's a fresh, aesthetically pleasing, and very high tech. So going back to the question, it's surprising. Not many questions here. You guys probably has been very thorough. We have in the box, we have two questions from anonymous. Hi dear speakers. I noticed that the glass roof has large panels with minimal structure. Would the end result be like a rendered image? Yeah, I also have a question that way. Will the actual building be the same look as your proposal? Maybe any one of you?
Lam, you want to take this? Because we have been fighting with our engineers, right, on this aspect.
Yeah. Right now it's still very conceptual. Definitely we want as minimum as possible. And we also have our facade special on board. Will be on board. And let's see how on this. Yeah.
I think the answer is we want it to be as close as possible to what we have shown. Our initial study with the engineers shows that we can actually have very linear structures to carry the glass. Of course, everything has a cost. Everything has certain criteria attached to it. We have not, because the idea is an idea competition. So our appointment technically stops there. But because of our passion to see through this, we have made certain suggestions as to how it can actually be done as close to what we have as possible. So a lot of boundaries are still fluid at the moment, cost being one of them. But as far as we are concerned, we'll try to make it as close as possible to what we have actually presented, so that our ideas can actually come up as pure as possible.
Okay, another question from an also anonymous. When looking at the structural part of the presentation, I can't help wondering if ESG is a concern at all when designing this facade. The amount of steel, which is the embedded carbon or carbon mills, makes me question if the form of the design is excessive or responsible? Could you please elaborate?
Yeah. Lam, you want to try that again?
Yeah. First, I think one part is about the excessive structure, right? Okay. Actually, the engineer, I mean, in the competition, the engineer doesn't have much time to work out the final one. It's very an idea. They just want to like use a prelim-based structural
it's buildable.
Yeah, systems to run the test. So that's buildable to I mean, so-called first pass the structure. So it is workable in terms of structure, and we are at this stage it's still an idea.
What is the timetable like? I mean, between now and the actual construction?
And then maybe the second part of the question, still on the structure, yes, definitely it will be more lightweight, more
It will be lighter.
Yeah, it is not, it will not going to be like this. We also won't agree with it like this, too heavy.
It is too excessive. Too excessive. Yeah.
To let you know the other alternative that the engineer proposed is actually and material from Johor as well.
Using laminated timber.
Yes, they propose to use glue lamp.
Oh, that will be nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why it's also to showcase the local material manufacturing, local products.
And innovation.
Yes. Yes.
So actually, how deep is the shell, the trusses up there?
How deep?
It's
how thick is it?
1.2 to 1.5 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So actually, to summarize, the structure will be a lot lighter than what we see because all of us jumped when we saw the first design. The engineers assured us that it will be at least 40% less after the detailed design actually is implemented. Also, to answer your second question, how far are we from the commencement of this particular project? According to MRTS, the reported date of completion is 2026. Presumably, that is the operational part, includes all the internal fit outs and testing the trains and all that. But so far, we are not in the position to know as to when this shell will actually commence. But we hope it will be quite soon.
Okay, all right, thank you. Architect Hanis.
Okay, I think we missed the second part of the question from the anonymous attendee. So the question is that will this proposal be built or it is a purely an idea competition? If yes, it is a public project and it would be funded by public money. I presume it is a is it a responsible use of people's money? So any insight on that?
I am not sure how we can justify because we don't know the cost for the moment. First of all, we all know that the train station is going to be positive for the population of Johor in terms of trade, in terms of people coming in and going out. So the question now is, if that being the case, we need a building anyway. So what your question is asking is probably between the original scheme and this particular scheme, what's the difference? I think it's very hard to quantify. For us, our responsibility is to build it as cheaply as possible. I think that is our mandate now. But at the same time, we do not want to compromise what is going to be an icon to the city. When Sydney Opera House was built, it burst the budget, I don't know how many times until the architects got fired. I hope it doesn't happen to us. But right now, 50 years on, whoever goes to Sydney without going to visit the Sydney Opera House, I don't think that anybody has gone to Sydney without seeing the Opera House that's actually been to Sydney. So how do you quantify that kind of value, that kind of privilege, that kind of iconic building? I think if one were to take just the dollars and cents to it, then we will all probably still be in a very backward kind of situation. We want to take pride in certain things we do. And unfortunately, pride does come with a cost. We do hope that this cost will eventually pay itself more than what we actually put in for the city of Johor Bahru.
Okay, thank you so much, Architect Eugene. I hope this answered your question, Mr. Anonymous Attendee. So, okay, I think we are.
I have a question. I have a question. Could you please tell us any green element or green technologies incorporated in your final drawings? Please.
Lam Chin, I thought we had one slide on that, right?
Yeah.
Did you hear the question?
Is it? Was it?
Is there green elements in our design?
Shall we share the screen? Yeah. The summary page on this one. Is it this one?
Yes, the question is, do we have any green element in our design?
What's green element?
Green building, green building design.
So this is a summary. For now, it's still quite conceptual. Even as for this one, we are proposing how to filter the sunlight and how to bring in the ventilation, cross ventilation, how to ensure the station is within the comfortable temperature range. Yeah. Of course, later part that we need to really sort out all the materials, what kind of material you're using. And yeah.
So then green elements.
Yeah, just to add on, the platform is non-aircon. It's natural ventilation, which is what the original brief intended it to be. And the objective during the design development is to ensure that there's some form of GBI index going forward. I hope that answers your question.
Sorry, may I chip in, Mr. Moderators and Puan Moderators? We have question from the attendees that would like to speak directly to the speakers, panelists. So we have here in this attendees that they already raised their hand. Maybe we take it from Mr. Adrian Leong. Mr. Adrian Leong, are you still there? Mr. Adrian Leong? Sorry, Mr. Adrian Leong? Okay. Just now we have we saw two attendees raise their hand. Never mind. We go back to this question in the chat box. Okay, we have done that. So maybe
while we are waiting for Mr. Adrian Leong, I would like to chip in for the green technology part.
Okay.
Like Eugene rightly mentioned, the platform is actually natural ventilated, right? It's not aircon. It's not an aircon platform. So there are some suggestions how to improve the air circulation. Some idea, is to install a big air fan, right? Big fan on top, that kind of thing. I mean, of course, for the design point of view, like I mentioned, we try not to have that kind of solution. We want to incorporate some interesting and good green technology inside the building. That's why we are exploring, the Dyson technology, how they can incorporate the bladeless fan system, into our our band. We hope to achieve that kind of things. We don't want to have something sticking out here and there, you know, to install a fan here and there. It looks like a second thought. It seems like the architect didn't really, you know, think through to incorporate every design solution. So now we are at this stage here, we try to we acknowledge all the problems, we acknowledge all this hot air issue, and now we are working with facade designer, you know, and the structurer to incorporate all this. So the Dyson technology is one, we are working on that. And secondly, is on the floor. We are also trying to explore the idea to have a floor cooling system. If need to, we can have something popping up from the floor and incorporate with a signage and something like that. So that thing is like a sculpture, and also to improve the air circulation, right? The circulation is to the floor and to the bands. Yeah, these are some interesting technology that we would like to incorporate to RTS design. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Eugene.
Thank you.
Well, we may take one question from the audience. We have Mr. TME. Hello, Mr. TME. You may ask your question now. We will unmute your speaker. Mr. Yi, are you ready to ask your question? Okay, never mind. We move to Mr. Chun Peng Lee. Hi, Mr. Chun. You may ask your question now.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Chun. Yes, we can hear you.
You can hear me now. Yeah. Perhaps it's not fair to ask too many engineering questions at this point in time because it's a conceptual design.
Yeah.
But let me congratulate our Johor team for winning the design. But as an old guy who's been transversing between Singapore and here very often, the iconic design it's done its job a bit. Coming from a different angle as a user all the time, it is not the fault of the design, but the fault of the brief itself at the end of the day. Coming from Singapore with so much hype of iconic buildings and so on, and entering into Johor, my sense of arrival always has been a great sense of relief, of getting away from all those huge hypes and all the Zaha Hadiths and all the whatever it is down there. So it becomes a small token to architectonic symbolisms in a place like Johor. If I were to arrive in a station in Johor that has got tremendous vegetations, beautiful gardens and so on, then I know I've arrived in Johor Bahru at Johor itself, you see, notwithstanding that there is also ambition to have a modern city and so on. But the sense of arrival itself, I know I'm departing away from these aspects of things, you see, but it could be very useful as a discourse for future design competitions and so on, to understand the social context of designing in architecture. It's not just purely architectonics, nor is it about architectural languages and icons and so on, but it is about the thousands of users that are going to go through the station itself, the impacts of arrival and departure, you know. It would be very sad for me to depart every time when I get off from Johor to go back to Singapore, for leaving away from a beautiful setting of an environment of what we really are. Because I was also born in Johor, in Matbahat, and I grew up in the Malayan context of landscapes and so on, you see. So it's nothing to do with your design, but it's just an expression of very important aspects of any design competition to understand outside the purview of architecture itself, and which has always failed where people who draft briefs for a competition and so on. That's all I want to say in my contribution. But otherwise, I would like to congratulate the team for winning this thing, and I think it is as good as anything that Zaha Hadid could have done. You know what I mean? Thank you.
CP Lee, CP Lee, I'm Chin here. CP Lee is my grand master last time when I worked for him.
Your boss.
In Architect Tenggara many years ago. So I thank you for your comments. Because I know in your younger day, you are very iconic architects. You design very iconic building. The Oakfield Clubhouse is one of the best design here I ever seen. Yeah. Thank you, CP. Yeah.
Mr. MC, do you have still time for us, or we should wrap things up?
Yeah, we may take another 2 questions. Maybe our chairman would like to ask a question. Do you have any question, Chief Farid?
Yes. Hi, Eugene and the team.
Hello.
You have a very good, wonderful team. My question will go away from the technical. My question will focus on the combination of winning team in an office. I see that you promote strongly about a combination of young and senior generation in this team. So how can you elaborate on the importance? I mean, there has been a lot of now youth movement, taking stage in PAM, be it PAM KL or PAMSo. So what is your opinion on this combo, we call it?
Okay. Chin, you want to start first, or I'll just go straight into it?
I think you go straight into it.
Okay, right. I think you're absolutely right. There is increasingly now there is a need for seniors actually to work with the younger architects, upcoming architects. When I was in university, I used the T-square and Z-square. I think you only find that in the architectural museum these days. A lot of young architects don't even know what that actually is, because they are all on computers and so on and so forth. Because of the digital divide, there's a chasm, so to speak, between the young and the old, and in how we approach things. Our office believes that we should have a balance of these two, which is why we always have a mentorship kind of a arrangement. So let's say I felt that Lam or Hang Seng has the potential. We actually have to stand up and say, okay, I sponsor this particular fella to make sure that they are given proper guidance in this. Architecture has evolved to be more complex because of the nature of the building, because of the contractual nature of things. Of course, as architects going through school, I'm sure there's a lot of young architects here. They always think that, oh, it's great that they can build nice, iconic buildings, but there are also practicalities, like all the relevant questions which our panelists has asked. How are we going to build it? Is it going to stand up? So on and so forth. So this mentorship program is to us a very usable tool where the mentor can actually take the younger generation aside and counsel them. I think it's a two-way thing. I also respect the young generations because they are very fast at doing things. When it comes to computers, generating 3Ds and all that, it's mind-boggling for me. But I'm only speaking on my behalf because I'm so old school, right? So I'm sure some of you youngsters or my generation can pick it up, but not me, not yet. So we do have a very symbiotic relationship between the young and the old, and I would certainly encourage our UTM students, or even some of our senior, like my old Abang Zawawi, who is probably still there, to actually, share their wealth of experience in the practice of architecture to the younger generations. Bearing in mind that it's a very evolving kind of a profession.
All right. Okay. Second question. Sorry, moderator. In your design scheme, winning design scheme, is there a turning point that either you say we proceed or we give up? Have you encountered that in this design, winning design?
So just to understand your question, you mean at what point do we decide that we want to go, or at which point we decided that this wasn't the scheme we're going to participate and give up? Is that the question?
Like yeah, it's very unconventional, but just an honest answer. Thank you.
Okay. I think honestly we went in with the intention of producing the most credible design which we could come out with. We are actually very thankful for the teams that actually supported us now, because we definitely cannot do without them. When we were selected as the top few finalists, we were only given a handful of days to actually come up with a fly-through. Fly-through is not easy. You have to sit down, you have to think of the storyline, you have to get all the pictures together, you have to get your SketchUp, you've got to get all these renderings done to stitch everything together. And for this, we actually appreciate our staff for truly putting their weight behind. So to answer you, no, at no point did we say we're not going to go ahead. We were very convinced of our design. We came together and we collectively decided that this was the design that we were going to do. And we actually saw it through. Whether we win or not is another matter, because it's the process that we actually want to introduce to inculcate in our staff. There is the actual process of actually going through the design that we actually learn more than actually the winning. Of course, the winning is a testament to all the effort which we actually put in. But I'm not saying that other people do not have put in that kind of effort. It's just that perhaps our ideas resonates with the jury, for this particular case. I would just put it that on that note. Thanks.
Thank you for joining PAMSo. Thank you.
Okay, I think we are running out of time since we have another webinar session at 11. So before we conclude this session, this is a question to all the panelists. How is this winning changes your career so that this will become an inspiration to others? So, Architect Eugene, can you start? Architect Eugene? No, this opens to all the questions.
Never mind. No worries.
Okay.
I always felt that as an architect, we always want to win something and be famous. When I start off, But increasingly, now that I'm nearing retirement, coming of age, I think maybe we have, maybe I have taken the win and being famous probably a bit too. I shouldn't see it too as a definition of who I am as an architect. I've always been very proud of being an architect, not because it's an AR next to my name, but I think it has helped me build my character as to who I am today. For that, I really appreciate the architects, the ethics, the code of ethics, and how we conduct ourselves. I think if we go outside, I believe if you say you're an architect, it still holds a certain degree of privilege, a certain degree of respect. And I think this is what we have inherited from our predecessors, which I feel that it should be inculcated to our juniors so they can carry this responsibility through. I mean, there are times where I thought, okay, what if I, never won anything, or nobody knows who I am, or what it may be. But I think if I had a character of integrity, of trying to do my best in everything that I do, and even if I just go on building terrace houses, and it makes the owners of the terrace houses happy with what I have given them, what I've designed for them, and I think that would have served my purpose as an architect. And I think that would be more important to me than actually winning. Of course, winning is something else, but we must always be rooted with the fact that we carry a heavy responsibility, and we do want to actually ensure that our built environment is actually something which we can be proud of, and something which we leave as a legacy for the next generation. So yes, more people has come to pat our backs because of the win, but I do hope that it shouldn't change me as a person from my basic requirement of myself, so to speak, to be an architect, that I can lift my head up high, not because of the win, but because of the profession of architecture. So I hope that for all the young architects, not everybody will win. Not everybody will be a Zaha Hadid or Zawawi for that matter, or whoever else, but we can still be good architects. We can still be responsible. We can still be meticulous, and we can still ensure that we do the best for our built environment. So that's what I'll leave with all the attendees and participants as maybe some words of encouragement. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Maybe something from the younger generations, Architect Hanseng, maybe, or Architect Lam.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I have been in this industry for about 10 years. Yeah, still considered very young compared to all the fellow architects on the line. Previously working a lot on a commercial project, and RTS is a different project, right? It's like you are facing a different user group. It's no longer a developer, or owner of the house. No, it's not that. It's even bigger. And winning the project, it gives me personally a very good feeling. Sorry, I'm still young. Yeah, and also being shortlisted in WAF is kind of a great achievement. Yeah, so the team is also preparing for the presentation for that. And yeah, it's a very interesting journey. Architecture, all this also train my personality, right? To stand up, to defend your design, to sit in the meeting, to chair the meeting. It's like an orchestra, right? You are standing in front, you go and control or give instruction to everyone. Of course, you also bear the responsibility. You have to stand tall and give the right advice. So all this is a very interesting training, a professional training to myself. But at the end of the day, I would just like to bring my family, walk past the city square, just point at the RTS to say that, look, this is our design. So yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Architect Chin and Architect Lim, do you have anything to add before we conclude our webinar?
Yeah, just a few sentences. For me, it is like a half dream come true because I've actually a passion and flair for an airport design. So this RTS is like involving myself in infrastructure building. So yeah, so I think halfway there to fulfill my dream of designing or involving an airport project. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, just to conclude, I'm like Eugene, also approaching retirement age. But somehow, of course, we are running a corporation, so we are training up or try to transfer our job to the next generation of young architects within the company. So yeah, architecture practice is exciting, is challenging. At the same time, it's very stressful. So yesterday, there's talk on a doctor, right, talking about depression and all, talking about this and that, you know. So architects actually face a lot of this kind of issue. Our job actually very stressful, especially when we are actually implementing the job. We face the purchaser, we face the developer. I suppose many other professions is also stressful. You know, the lawyers, the accountants, or whatever, you know. But somehow we have chosen this profession, you know. I've been in practice for probably, you know, since 1989, you know. So, close to 30 years.
Chin, we lost you there.
Yeah. So we are looking forward to get the young generation to come out as the older one fading behind the scene. Yeah. Okay. I will pass back to the organizer. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Architect Sharani, any last words?
Not really. Hope everyone has enjoyed the presentation. Actually, great takeaways for all of us designers here. Now that we know their secret recipe, perhaps every one of us might win some other competition after this.
Sure.
Again, big thank you to the four of you. Congratulations again on the win. Congratulations and good luck in the Lisbon event. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
We wish you all bigger success in the future. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day, everyone, and stay safe. Take care.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. MC.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Chin, and also Mr. Eugene, and Lam, and Mr. Singh. And thank you also to moderators, Architect Hanizal Nazura and Architect Nur Shaharani.